NewGenGamers.com.
And it was a cheat code that became famous and was then later used as a novelty in other Konami games.
And a survival device in Contra.
Yeah, and many gamers fathom that Konami intentionally made Contra so difficult, or at least left your lives so low so that you'd use the Konami code. I don't know if that's true or not, or if they just made it ridiculously hard.
It was ridiculously hard.
Either way,
doubt.
Even with 30 lives, it was hard. Try and get the various power-ups without dying, which let you kill more effectively here.
I've got the laser.
The laser.
Now.
And so this is another stellar third-party effort that was only available at home on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
And Konami was just fantastic with these.
Yeah, and we didn't see this on Atari, we didn't see this on Master System, only on Nintendo.
Yeah, you'll hear that a lot during this, only on Nintendo.
Yeah, most of the
Some
titles...
genres were... Maybe I need that code.
Most of the titles we'll be looking at today were only available on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and they pretty much secured all the third parties for the home market during their reign.
Yeah, that was a kind of a major part of their strategy, was getting all the third parties to make games just for them, which we'd find out later that were just shady business practices.
Yeah, it was kind of a strong-arm tactic, but at the same time, it was quality control. You know, if you look at it from that aspect, they didn't want just anyone making anything for on their system. They wanted it represented a certain way. They wanted family-oriented titles. They didn't want blood. They didn't want gore. And so they
didn't want the porno titles that were on freaking 2600.
Yeah,
I think that was a big thing, too.
That was part of it. They didn't want the black eyes that the industry got because of those things. And they wanted anyone to be able to play their games. They wanted to be a family-oriented company. So they were very stringent on what was released and what was to be released.
And there was a lot of stuff that was available on the Famicom in Japan that either got edited out or just didn't make it over here. Was something else that I noticed, was they were really stringent on stuff that actually crossed the border too.
Yeah, they would change certain things between releases.
Or release completely separate games, like an upcoming title we're going to look at here, Super Mario 2.
Yeah.
I mean, they released a whole separate version of that game.
Japan saw so many more releases than America. There were so many games that never came to America, that were out there, and that one was one, I don't know why they changed it, but...
Well, you ever played Super Mario The Lost Levels?
Yes.
Because it was so freaking hard. Like that part of this game.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Now, a fun side note for this series is, they've had several Gradius titles, and as you said, Konami had a stellar line of these side-scrolling shooters, and they parodied their own series with, I assume it was an arcade and also a Super Nintendo game called Parodius, as a play on Gradius, and also using the word parody, and so I'd say we have a good look on this. In the game Parodius, it was Gradius, except there was just all these weird Konami characters and just odd characters instead of these ships and different things. And
yeah, they just basically spaceballed it.
Yeah, their own title, they just kind of lampooned it, and it was kind of interesting, not very well known. So if you can ever check that out, do so, if you like Konami shooters. So
this is our look at Gradius. So
yeah, let's move on.
All right. All right, everybody. Welcome back to Console Wars of the Past here. We're doing the NES era. And here is another absolutely fantastic game for the NES. This is Punch-Out! Now, this was originally an arcade title done by Nintendo that they retooled and released on the NES.
Yeah, the arcade version actually looks
a lot different.
Way different, yeah. But both are really fun. And you see Mario playing the referee here.
Now, the thing that I always liked about this title was the facial expressions and the visual cues they would give you on, like the different patterns to do.
Like right there, if you know when he comes down and does that little move, if you uppercut him, you can knock him down. So there's little tips and tricks. The gameplay itself is pretty basic. You can move left and right, you can duck and dodge, and you can punch high and low, left and right. And then you get special star attacks, which do massive damage.
And to Glass Joe, knock him the out.
So we'll plow through Glass Joe very quickly here. He's the
wuss character.
The character to get you familiarized with the game and get started, and you can just decimate him. See ya. You knock him down 3 times in one round, you get a technical knockout, like in real boxing. So it plays similar to real boxing, but is very arcadey and over the top. All the characters are really memorable for what little bit of information you get. This is all you get, but these characters are very memorable.
Just because of their movements and their reactions, like Von Kaiser.
Yeah, this game is really like watching a comic book version of a video game, and really almost stylized.
Yeah, they really put a lot of stylistic detail into this game, and as you notice, the little flash and the head bob there. Now, I think you probably know this, but if you get a star on him, you can just do a couple punches and then he'll get like a oh no look, and then you can just knock him out. And the strategies abound in this game. Now, another note on this was originally licensed to
like
have...
that?
Yeah, exactly, like that. Yeah, I'm a Punch-Out master, man.
Oh.
The only one I couldn't beat was Mike Tyson, who I was just about to get to. This is the Punch-Out version.
Together, Ray and I have about 40 years of Punch-Out experience. So
we are the experts on the subject.
We've played a lot of Punch-Out. So Mike Tyson was in the original release of this game. We're playing on the Wii Virtual Console, so the controller's a little harder to use. I definitely prefer the original NES controller. But this does not have Mike Tyson.
No, they had to re-release the game later on in 1990 after Mike Tyson got himself in trouble with a rape case, and he went to jail for a few years for that.
Well, we talked about Nintendo liking to have a squeaky clean image, and right there,
Mike Tyson did not fit the bill.
Yeah, Mike Tyson kind of messed up the relationship there. So they took Mike Tyson out of the game, kept the design, and put in
Mr. Dream.
Mr. Dream, who
basically kept Tyson's moveset, I believe.
Yeah, the character sprite is Tyson. They just changed his face a little bit and made him white.
You are playing with power.
Punch-Out by Nintendo.
Play with power.
11 world-class contenders. Take them down with your controller, beat them all, and you've got a shot at Tyson's title.
Power.
But for that, you've got to beat Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Gamers.com.